Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night. We're gonna dive on in, see what's going on, what would be helpful for you. We're gonna start with the Angel Wisdom Tarot today. So let's see what God's source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Always trust and follow that divine inner guidance in you to find the answer that really resonates for your current situation. Don't force Cinderella's slipper if it doesn't feel like it's the right size, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So all of the thin love, you have some confidence, or you are connecting to someone who is super confident. I also feel like there's something about this person feeling like a treasure. You have these pearls of wisdom. There's also something here. It looks like it's only half full, but I'm not getting the glass half full. I'm getting more like Annie's locket, like somebody has the other half to the puzzle, or something's going to come in and be the perfect fit, be a perfect match. Maybe you have a cat. There's also this staff of peace. It's like your angels are protecting you here. Maybe somebody has a specific style that's kind of uniquely theirs. There's also something about blue and speaking up, opening up the curtain. I'm getting kind of when a door closes, you're going to get a big, huge open window. And if there's a closed door, I see a key falling down. I actually see like the gate. I don't know why I see like the chocolate factory. I see like, you know, like a golden opportunity, but you need to get to the chocolate factory and use that beautiful ticket to have that experience, because this queen is confident in new experiences. It's a fiery sign. She glows with this confidence. She looks like she's waiting for someone. She looks like she's actually has a little smirk on her face, like she knew somebody was on their way, even if they didn't call up first. I always see her on stage, you know, or the trendsetter. So it could actually be that you have a platform, that you're sitting on something with a lot of confidence, comfortable. She's sort of the queen that can also wear the pants. So I kind of see her as like boss lady, you know, someone who can run a business, someone who has that fiery energy in her soul that inspires others to, you know, tap into their talents, to express themselves with their authentic nature, you know, their own original style. This is somebody who can do it all, but I feel like she prefers to have others around her to make it even brighter. She knows how to shine that beautiful sunlight, that spotlight on others' beautiful attributes. I feel like she's the one that compliments out of nowhere. I also feel like this queen inspires others to take chances they normally wouldn't take, whether just by example or by her kind words, her, you know, little, I'm getting a little bit of pep talk, you know, like she helps someone see the sunshine where they could have only seen rain clouds. It says brilliant. So this is somebody who's not just brilliant in their energy, but this is also somebody really intelligent. It says controlling. So maybe it's having the confidence to know that where you can control energy is within yourself, releasing outside controls. If somebody doesn't want to get up there on stage with you, you can't force them up. You know, it's going to make somebody very uncomfortable. You can inspire them up, you know, and kind of sit there, come hither, like, you know, you can do it. When you're ready, come on up here on stage, because you deserve to be shining too. It's telling you to have this confidence, to believe in yourself, to believe in a project you're working on, to believe in the talents that you have or the experiences that got you to where you are now. Upside down, we'll take a little look. She is a little jelly. She's always worried about something being taken away. If she gets off that throne, somebody better might sit there. Her cat might like somebody else better than her. You know, she can be kind of a gossip, but it's usually just that shady energy is because she's putting a little rain cloud on her own brilliant brightness, you know, her uniqueness that is special and different than anyone else. So she shouldn't ever really compare to anyone else. Apples, oranges. Brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There's nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. It's also the, all right, so extra message here. This is also a need for a balance between career and personal life. So if she's, you know, the one that really likes to go out and have fun with others and, you know, mix and mingle and do everything, but she never acts upon that brilliant idea that came about in that conversation she had when she was out, she's dimming the light in another area that she could really shine at. If she's all about that project she's working on, or being the boss, or the business that she's in, and, you know, somebody comes in and asks her on a date, but she doesn't have any time. There's no time in the schedule. She has to work from the moment she gets up to the moment she goes to sleep, then there's going to be an imbalance. Even if her business was successful, there's still a little light lacking, or, you know, light that's not shining in another arena that could be overall abundant in her life. There's something about where this queen has, when she has one thing going that's really working out well, she has to utilize that energy and transmute it into other areas of her life. So I do feel like this queen does have to make a little room for something to come in, because it's going to fit just right. Clarify the Queen of Fire, or the Queen of Rods, the Queen of Wands. There's something about these pearls of wisdom, or pressure. Maybe she was under a lot of pressure. Maybe it's really like a pressure release. Maybe that's having a little fun. It's maybe a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. It does not have to be, though. I also feel like there's something very yin and yang. I want to say she's lucky. I don't know why I see that. I see that black cat, and I feel like there's something like luck is coming in, because luck makes me think of Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. And I feel like there's always one area in your life, wherever your Jupiter is. Maybe look at where the house of your Jupiter is placed, and, you know, the values of that house, or the sign it's under, and those particular, you know, personality traits or attributes for that star sign. And I feel like if somebody typically always has really good, let's say always has, let's start with weird relationships, you know, has a little struggle in romance, and because they're learning a lot of inner soul lessons there, but they always have a job that falls into their lap. I feel like there's something where there's one area in particular, somebody doesn't even really have to try very hard to get some luck, but there's something about that other area that was usually more difficult, where suddenly the luck is going to change. I'm also getting a lot of gratitude and creativity. I feel like for some of you, it's about something that you create. I mean, that looks like filigree to me. Maybe some of you do something with carpentry, or jewelry, or fabrics, or fashion, or interior design, or some of you do something on a stage or a platform. I hear production, but that could be something you are producing, a production you are in. Clarify the Queen. Why is the Queen here? Oh, wow. You got a lot going on. Something's going to happen really fast. I just said something about producing, or something you're productive on. You are doing something with your hands. I just saw that, like carpentry or something, or wood. So the interesting thing about the Eight of Pentacles, it is where you are working hard. It is where you need to do something a little bit in repetition on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, 5 minutes a day, you know, twice a month, whatever it is, but there has to be consistency with your energy and effort in order for you to get better. I also feel like there's something that you start by the book, by the basics, but you end up putting your own little flair on something. You know, when you kind of follow the instructions the first couple times around, and now you start to get creative ideas. You know, you start to give it your own little personal touch. I always feel like that energy is kind of like if you want to be a pilot, you can't go up 4 times a year. You don't have that, you know, instinct in you to autopilot, no pun intended, to handle something when you're actually up in the sky. You need to do something consistently. You know, if you want to do martial arts, you need to have that in your routine. So, you know, you just hit it right away. If you're doing ballet, you need to do a billion pliés. You need to, you know, do your splits and everything. So your body knows how to bend in those positions and have the strength. Because even in ballet, like sometimes you just hold your arms out like this, but now it's like 15 minutes in, you're like, I don't even have weights on. How is this so hard? It's something where something in the beginning could have been kind of difficult is going to get easier. There's also something about working maybe with this queen or who this queen wants to work with. It could also be where this queen sees a lot of potential in someone, but they need more hours. They need more experiences, you know, more unfolding of something to actually reach to their potential. Sometimes it's that energy also of the apprentice. So in the beginning, the apprentice might not make any money, but they know working under that person or getting that education or that experience on that certain thing, whatever it is going to be so much more valuable in the future that when ready, all of a sudden, all of that energy comes back around. Everything starts to happen. It's sometimes the deer in headlights too with this 8. You have an 8-8. The deer in headlights, where if everything happens all at once, you know, you're gifted all of these positions all in the same day. What do you say yes to? It's like looking at something bird by bird. I also feel like there's something here about, I want to say dating for some of you. I feel like it's it's like, because this queen, like she's rather sassy and sexy. She's very attractive. You know, it could be the way she presents herself, but there's something about her magnetism, her energy that's just enticing, attractive. You know, her personality, her ideas, her enthusiasm. You just kind of want to be around her. So I kind of feel like if for some of you, this is about maybe going on a dating app or maybe just going out and mixing and mingling. I did see that. Maybe you have like 10 people that want to talk to you and, you know, 8 of those people slipped you their number. So where do you start to maybe put work away, or maybe what is one relationship you feel is worth putting a little more effort into, and you'll know more and more through those experiences if something is growing, or if it's I don't know why I see like the basic instructions, you know, if it's getting past something, if the page is flipping, if it feels enticing, or if it's someone's not all they're cracked up to be. Maybe somebody also cracks you up. Maybe it's sense of humor here. I didn't even read these. Learning all you can about a subject. So that could be a person, could be something new about yourself, or a career. Going back to school, maybe taking a seminar. Maybe some of you meet somebody when you're taking a class. Finding a mentor, which is really nice. I feel like if you find a mentor or somebody that wants to work with you or sees potential in you, I actually feel like they're divinely guided to help you out. They might even not know why they see something in you, especially if you have absolutely no past experiences in that arena, but they still feel there's something in you. Maybe it's just how you're enthusiastic about giving something a go, or asking the right questions. It's also that energy of when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Also, when the teacher is ready, the right student comes into the mix to maybe throw in a little monkey wrench and make them think outside of the box. I just feel like sometimes there's something a student can bring to the mix where they have a weird question that the textbook didn't address, or that the teacher would have never had as a dilemma, where they have to really think outside the box to come up with a solution. And that actually expands both the student and the teacher. It's someone who has attention to detail, skilled work that you love. Somebody keeps going back because they love what they're putting their hands on, their time into. They love these experiences being in their everyday life. I feel like if some of you have gone back to school, or you have a specific skill or talent that you are just now discovering or always had and put it on the back burner, once you put a little more time and you practice your instrument, take your guitar out of the garage, you know, set up your drums, give yourself a little workbench in your you know, side room or on your porch or whatever this is, get back to the studio, you know, start taking some classes on that thing you haven't done in a really long time. You're going to see how something's going to explode like fireworks in your life, that you're going to have results that actually happen faster than you know. Going back to that dating app, because I did see that, if some of you do, like, you're like, okay, you know, well, I'll take a couple of, you know, natural pictures of me in my element, you know, you're confident, but you're not posing too much. I feel like some of you wake up and you have like 400 people that want to date you, and you're like, whoa, don't even know where to start, bird by bird, you know, see which one feels like it really resonates with you. Because one person's going to feel like fireworks, like spiritual fireworks in the connection. If for some of you, you feel like, you know, there's just so much happening at work, you don't know if you could put attention into a relationship or into that extra thing. You can, but you have to make the changes necessary. You have to create the room. You have to maybe even say no to something that doesn't suit you or fit you anymore, or no to any energies that were trying to get over on you. We'll look at this in a minute. But it says stress caused by many positive opportunities. So somebody's stressed out because they're on a winning streak. Somebody's stressed out because things are actually starting to manifest and happen. That more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 doors are opening up all at once. You know, they're gifted more gigs or more jobs or more, I don't know why I see seminars now. I do see seminars, like opportunities to share something. Maybe some of you speak on a podium or something like that. Then they can actually fit in the schedule. So maybe you need to make something more structured. Maybe you need to really like do some hard negotiations, you know, see who's gonna, I don't know. I see like who wants, like really value what you have to offer. Don't lowball yourself here. It could also be that you have to just stretch something out over time. Say next 2 months, totally booked. But if you get in now and you make a decision in 3 months, I can work on that project with you. It's really recognizing, I mean, especially with this, it's recognizing your value. Because there is something that you do that somebody else can't. Therefore, your time is valuable. Unexpected events and rapid changes. It's also the ability to multitask that takes you back to that queen. You're able to handle more than one thing at once. If some of you have a lot going on, you know, in the job, in your career, in your family, whatever, but you really need a good vacation, then maybe it's saying no to something, saying, nope, that's vacay time and that's my me time and that plugs me back in. After that, we'll figure it out. It could also be where some of you actually have to delegate duties to someone that maybe has less experience, but they're going to figure it out on their own. You don't always have to be the boss in a situation. Somebody can handle more than maybe they've been gifted the chance to do before. Like never been put in charge on something. But I feel like you're there if they need to, you know, give you a phone call, but I feel like someone's going to do a better job than either they gave themselves credit for or you gave them credit for. But I feel like for most of you, you knew you could trust somebody. It's unexpected, an ability to multitask, and it's business travel. So maybe some of you start by, you know, traveling for business, but you need to have a little fun too. Maybe you extend that, you know, business vacation to have a few, you know, you days afterwards. I also see somebody like going to the spa. Maybe you do have to do a lot, but hey, this 3-hour window is going to be massage time. The biggest energy here, we will take a look at this because I do feel like this is something that you are absolutely leaving behind. But the biggest energy here is this release. You're connecting to a unicorn, man. You have an angel that's there like, yes, we recognize you are a unicorn. It's also where you have this angelic energy, this divine energy that is trying to give you a big old hug, trying to lead you towards this energy of transition. It's where you let the old you go and you are rebirthed into something new. You know, it's death and rebirth, but it's focusing on that rebirth energy. Also, if there's a unicorn coming in for you, that means that there's something really true and pure about your heart. The unicorn only appears to those that have that pure energy in, you know, their truth. So if there was anything that ended, it's because you have a lot of energy that wants to firework itself into your arena very soon. If you had an ending where, especially if it's this situation where you felt like you put your cards on the table, but somebody was trying to take advantage. I don't really like the 5 of Swords energy. We will look at this one both ways though, because the 5 of Swords is generally somebody around you that likes to manipulate your mind. You know, they want to make you feel a certain way. And that could be different ways, but there's always some kind of selfish gain for it. It's like somebody who could stroke the old ego, you know, oh, you're the best. You do that so well, but then they're doing it to like be in your arena, but it's almost like they have an extra backstory they haven't told you. It's sort of the frenemy energy. It could also be somebody who just doesn't groove with your energy at all, where you smell this person's funk a mile away. It's maybe an unwise choice that you made in the past, but if that was your unwise choice, or if you kept choosing wrong and nothing was transforming or changing or growing or moving, especially if you felt stagnant at a position where you were not admired or you were starting to lack confidence, then it's you getting out of that arena. You have to be the one to make a different decision for something to be different. If you keep repeating a pattern and you want change, but you're not being the one to change, not much change is going to happen. It's like you're recreating the same event over and over. So this could also be where somebody else is going to basically mess up, you know, be caught red-handed. Somebody is going to be seen for the sourpuss that they actually are. That their intentions were just to, it's like a really bad winner. It's not even somebody that wins in that humbleness energy or that appreciation energy. It's somebody that wants to win so somebody else loses. It's somebody that wants to get somebody's person so that that other person they kind of don't like isn't with them, but they don't even really have a connection with that person. They just feel that satisfaction that somebody else isn't going to get them. It's kind of funky, like not a good funky, like funky town. It's like funk, you know, and it usually ends up where that person, even if they feel like they got the biggest trophy, they're left alone to hold the trophy. And then all of a sudden their win feels plastic because other people don't even want to play with them anymore. They don't even want to be around that energy. They know that person's always gonna like be kind of all about themselves in the end. They're not going to be that queen that wants everyone to shine in the spotlight. That could even be somebody that does the opposite and makes somebody question their motives, or question their skill, or question their value, question their decisions, question their transition, or question, why are you releasing that and going to something that's so new? Why are you focused on the light when you're so used to the cocoon or crawling around like the caterpillar down here? Why do you want to be a phoenix? Because that would make you have to burn everything to ashes to rise out of it. Why would you want to burn something you already built down? Just stay with what you know, stay with what you know. You know, that's the sure thing. This is somebody who's not sure about that anymore. I kind of feel like this is also maybe somebody that has a conversation or even communication or even an argument where it started out about to be one thing, and then all of a sudden that's the person that makes somebody question themselves when it like strays from the root of the actual argument in the first place. It could also be where I don't know, or somebody's just kind of playing bad games. An unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Here, you're doing something with your intention, you know, your everyday schedule, where you get to get up and do it. You get to get up and be with that person or these people, or do that thing for yourself. You get to expand and travel. And you're gifted the stress of having to make the best decision for you. Here, this is somebody who's not making the right decisions. It's telling you right now, just have that integrity and authenticity inside of you to avoid people who lack integrity, or you're questioning their motives. You feel that there's something kind of energetically off. You know, are they doing this just to get something? Or are they doing this because they're really into something? Also, I had that karate thing, right? Before. I will read this upside down, because upside down, it's like Mr. Miyagi or Mrs. Miyagi. You know, it's that one that had the Karate Kid paint in the house, paint the house, paint the house. And he's like, I don't want to paint the house. Like, why are you making me do this? And then he's like, well, you know, if somebody approaches you and they do the and they got the karate move down. It's like that ballerina. In order for that to be muscle memory, you need to do that skill so many times, so it's just innately in there. But it's upside down. I actually really like it, because it's somebody who's a smart cookie, somebody that believes in your wit, believes in, you know, believes in your intelligence and how you can actually figure something out, or how you could have figured it out all along if you had the right teacher. And that could be just a friend. It doesn't have to be an actual mentor, but it's somebody that believes that in order for you to be the best chess player, they're not gonna cheat and let you win, so mommy and daddy pay for you to have more chess lessons. This is somebody who's going to play a good game. They're going to play it the hard way so that you learn. And there's usually something, like I always see where Mr. Miyagi, I think that's like the perfect example of that upside down, because in the end, you know, like he was giving away free lessons, but he technically got his house painted and he taught that lesson at the same time. It was like a win-win. That's what that is the other way. It's where it's a win-win. Even if it's a loss, it's actually a win. Whereas the other way, it's just always somebody wants to win and they want somebody else to lose. So the release is beautiful. You're in a field of white roses. There's also something where, I don't know, there's something about a new kingdom or a double kingdom. You have these two towers, but they're beautiful. Endings that bring new beginnings, the need to release, well, same message here, and they came out together. The need to release situations or people that hold you back. And it's spiritual transformation. You know, if anyone was constantly confusing you or dimming your light, you know, questioning why you were doing something, or even putting themselves first and making you feel bad, that's somebody you're maybe just naturally starting to feel like you don't vibe with anymore, and it's okay to say no. it's okay to, you know, take yourself to where the vibes are right, to who you're around that truly believes in your gifts and you feel confident putting your energy and effort into. Because I feel like it's kind of that, like before, you know, maybe you thought this person was funny, or maybe you thought, you know, they always played a good game, but then you realize they're like hiding a card in their pocket all the time. They're always making others feel bad. This is like somebody that's not like, all right, guys, let's go get pizza. That was a good card game. Good card game. What are we going to do now? You know, it's not somebody that was on the team player. It's like somebody that came in, they just want to win, you know, take all their ducats or their coins and then leave everybody in the dust. Let them work it out. So let's see. Let's go to something else. I don't know what though. Let's get you maybe something different. Oh, should we do the Français? Yeah, let's do the French one. Let's get you a card in French. And I can't speak French at all. I took like 1 year. That was a very, very, very long time ago. I remember like comme ci, comme ça. Parlez-vous français? Un, deux, trois. You know, so I'm going to pull a card and then I want to translate it because the messages here are actually beautiful, but I got to go to the iPad and do a little translation. So let's pull a card and get you an extra deeper message on what is going on. I feel like if somebody was holding their cards close to their chest, for a good reason, because they were working on this energetic, transmutation of their energy, or their spiritual transformation, or the spiritual elevation or evolution, then somebody may have known that they had to exit out of a certain friend group or partnership, or, you know, even if it was a job or something like that, maybe in the right manner, that they felt, you know, I don't know. I feel like somebody wanted to do something on the up and up, like the right way. And I'm not sure what that is. But I do feel like there might be a final straw, or just like, yeah, maybe somebody's just ready to walk out the door, give their 2 weeks kind of thing. You know, let's release that contract. Let's, you know, redo those negotiations because there's something that's not vibing anymore. I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Endings that lead to new beginnings. I kind of feel like somebody recognizes another unicorn. They're like, I'm going to go hang out with the unicorn instead of the caterpillars. What is one message? Please and thank you. La marine. It's like the fisherman or the boat. There's smoother waters ahead. That ship has sailed. Next journey ahead. Nouvelles influences soif des voyages. So maybe there's a new voyage. There's a new journey ahead. You're catching the right wave. You're heading towards maybe this school or abundant energy, because I always see the fish as abundance. It could even be connecting to possibly like a Pisces kind of energy, which also makes me think back to the, you know, the wheel, all the astrology signs. It's that last step before the new beginning. It's also where with that Pisces energy, sometimes it's that processing, going into the cocoon, you know, retreating to plug yourself back in, process all that's going on out there, re-get their own energy, and then get ready for that new beginning. It could also be if somebody was around weird energies, they had to figure out what energy they were feeling that actually wasn't their vibe at all, and what energy is their own and what they are magnetically attracted to rather than repelled from. That's really pretty. These cards are so beautiful. So I'm going to find this, pause you. I looked at that 3430. I'm actually glad that I paused that because that took a few extra steps For some reason, I took a picture on my iPad and it couldn't detect le français. So I had to do it on my phone and then take a picture of my phone from my iPad. Anyway, let's continue. So it is the seagulls roar above a ship that slits the water in sparkling waves. I like how expressive they are. Witnessing the aerobatics of dolphin schools. The sailors, oh, that's also, dolphins always remind me of laughter and fun and playing. So maybe it is about playing more, or maybe if somebody was playing a bad hand, or maybe it's playing even a bad hand well. Let's see. The sailor inhales the air of the sea and smiles. The ocean is vast and beautiful, but the sailor's thoughts bring him back to a small house in the Citadelle, to a pleasant fire and a warm embrace. He then realizes that some things are worth anchoring. The sailor has two meanings: the familiar shores of the home and the thirst for travel. You did have that message that said travel here. Maybe you are in great need of a change of pace, large or minimal, and this is the perfect time for a new start. You do have a big, huge release. You know, this energy is when something is just done and gone and it doesn't feel like it fits you anymore. To keep trying to make something fit never quite feels right. You know, it's like when the snake shed its skin, you have that old skin there on the ground, you try to put, you're not going to put it on again. You know, you let that go and you let your new skin twinkle. So maybe you're in a great need for change of pace, large or minimal. This is the perfect time for a new start, but no matter what you undertake to satisfy your desires, do not forget the importance of your origin. It's having that place where you feel like your soul is home, whether that is with a certain person or a partnership that you feel confident on and not weird about, or whether you are creating a whole new beginning in your life where you are in control of how something builds and grows and who you are becoming in that environment. Or it's, I don't know, something about being uprooted, but I see like a plant being repotted. So it's like, if that plant has its roots that have grown bigger than the pot, you don't throw away the plant, you just get a bigger pot, you know? And it's also maybe transporting it to a different location, or maybe finding the right foundation and putting it in the soil so it can become a huge tree instead of a little bush. Let's see what it is inverted. Inverted is a storm prevents you from going to sea. You feel trapped and restless. It is possible that a difficult period awaits you. If you dream of change of scenery or new adventure, then this is not the ideal time to get started. Don't rush to the first opportunity for freedom. Impulsiveness could backfire on you. There's something here where you do have an energy that's going to come really fast, but even if you make a decision, there's something about you getting that grounded, putting more solid effort into something, gaining your confidence over time or through experiences. Also trusting yourself that if an experience seems like somebody is giving you this grandiose opportunity, you have to sign the dotted line right now or it's going to leave your hands, this is your last chance, then that energy kind of feels a little off. Then you'd be like, if I can't sleep on it, then you can take your chance and head out the door, you know? If you feel like there's a big storm, there's something where this is giving me a little Six of Swords energy. Sometimes you need to go into a storm head on, so you learn how to handle your sails right. If there's an energetic weather change and you're getting that energetic weather forecast, and you know now is not quite the time to move, then you wait until the sun comes out. You know, that storm's not going to brew forever. So maybe it's waiting for the right opportunity. It's also something about, I get that butterfly thing, or, you know, you can't help the butterfly come out of the cocoon, or, you know, there's something even maybe like an egg hatching, because part of the wings getting stronger is using those muscles for the first time to get them out. So maybe if there's even, you know, somebody you wanted to take them, you know, out of their cocoon a little faster than they were ready for, there's something about somebody gaining strength and learning something on their own by doing it themselves. I hope that made sense. Let's get you a message from the universe. And I feel like this is our reading today. I hope this was helpful so far. I do feel like some of you are getting itchy to expand, to travel. But maybe some of you are also feeling itchy to really solidify something that feels like home. I keep getting that there's something about playing. It's where you feel like you can play and not where it's just all work. But it's not playing those weird mind games over there. It's like playing that good chess game. You know, something that's kind of mentally stimulating, but also stimulating to your energy somehow. One message from the universe. What is the final message, please? And thank you. That's exactly what I said before. You know, where I saw somebody doing something the same old way, but never making a different choice so they could have something that feels new, that feels different. You know, if somebody is never learning their lessons over here, then it's just, they're never going to have that chance to expand. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect different results. Change comes from thinking thoughts you've never thought before, having dreams you never knew were in you, or desires you never even knew that you would have if you didn't try something a little different. Throw a little monkey wrench into your own life. You've never thought of before, and showing up to meet them down those streets you've never walked before. So there is something about branching out, leaving the uncomfortable comfort zone, because there's another place, there's something you're going to discover that's going to even feel like it's the new you, like it suits you now. It helps you to grow. It's somewhere you can grow. It's never stopping that learning process, because we're here to continuously grow in our soul. Through all of the ups and downs, the fireworks and the weird, the effort, and, you know, even falling off the ladder a little bit. It's getting back up again, climbing higher the next time. With this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful. Rose needs a little attention as well. Did you hear that sound that she made? I don't even know what that is. She's talking. So I love you. I love you so much. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye.